In part one of this Missouri highway funding solution, I said in 2008, Missouri will spend approximately $1,230 million on state highway maintenance and construction. By 2010, 2 years forward, that number will fall to $569 million. This is because the federal funding portion available to Missouri will dramatically shrink. Therefore, Missouri will have $661 million less money for state roads. Now, roads are the place where citizens interact with their government most often. Since citizens paid for the roads, they should insist that government managers take good care of their property. I also talked about roads as an important tool for economic development. If Missouri isn't attracting new tax-generating business activity, the people and businesses that are paying taxes now will be required to pay more to cover ever-rising costs of government. Now, I believe the legislature must take immediate action and find increased funding for state highway construction and maintenance. The cost of both labor and construction material is increasing, and, as discussed earlier, the money available to fund road work is dramatically decreasing. Now, here are a few suggestions. Missouri's motor fuel tax is among the lowest of all 50 states. The 17-cent per gallon rate is way below the 28-cent national average. The 17-cent per gallon rate was set in 1996, when the price of gas was less than half today's per gallon price. In Missouri, each penny of motor fuel tax generates about $40 million. Unfortunately, to make up the $661 million loss, the state would need to double the rate to 34 cents per gallon. But because the state distributes part of its motor fuel tax collections to counties and municipalities, Missouri would need more than 17 cents. Then, when the legislators are reminded it's near time to rebuild Interstates 70 and 44 and possibly 55, they would realize that without federal money, the motor fuel tax won't just double, it may have to triple. Other highway funding sources include motor vehicle registration fees, driver license fees, and the sales tax on the sale of motor vehicles. Unless Missouri is willing to dramatically increase all three of these revenue sources, they should not be considered. It is possible for the state legislature to designate that a percentage of the state's general revenue growth be transferred to highway funding. If 10% of that growth were so designated, assuming the pre-slowdown growth rate, it will take 4 years to generate a $36 million increase. This does not seem to be a very promising funding source. Now we come to the most realistic source for providing substantial increases for state highway funding: a dedicated statewide general sales tax. Now, each penny of a statewide general sales tax, which is 100% designated to state highway maintenance and construction, would generate about $700 million per year. Now, 1 penny would make up the entire $661 million loss. If the state were to dedicate a 2-penny sales tax, the second penny could be used to eliminate the motor fuel tax altogether. Now, that might help sell the voting public on the wisdom of this solution. Whatever the state legislature is going to do, they need to do it fast. The state highway funding crisis is coming whether they think about finding a solution or not. I'm Lee Presser.